Right, we've got a couple of minutes before the resumption of play, Sunil, and it's very interesting. In the break, we eavesdropped on Geoffrey Boycott looking at things from an England standpoint, and he expressed some concern over the fitness of Alan Lamb and Graham Gooch, and he was saying, you know, really there's an awful lot resting on how they perform.
Yes, because Graham Gooch is important not only as a captain but as the opening batsman, and if he can get the side off to a good start, then obviously that'll be a load off the lower batsman. And Alan Lamb is the only batsman in the England team who can improvise. The others play fairly straight, they can hit the ball, but the real improviser that is moving away from the leg stump or moving away towards the offside and hitting the ball on vacant spaces is what Alan Lamb is very, very good at. So if he can do that, then, of course, England are in with a chance.
Because the worry for the England supporters is that both of those two have been out through injuries.
Yes, and of course, the running between the wickets might be a bit of a problem. Lamb and Gooch, mind you, are not really getting any younger, but it's really up to them to give England the kind of batting that they need to get past 250.
Now, the thing is, I mean, obviously we saw that it is possible to get off to a slow start and still get up to 250. Do you think Graham Gooch and Ian Botham are going to be looking to dominate the bowling early on, or is it a question of withstanding the initial onslaught?
Oh, difficult to do that against Akram and Aqib. Both are very experienced and very, very fine bowlers. So they'll have to be watchful, ensure that there is no wickets going very early, and so no panic.
Well, we've got commentary. Let's hand it over to the MCG.
This is Akram. Wasim over the earlier matches has bowled a number of wayward deliveries in trying to generate a lot of pace, but he's the man that Imran and Pakistan will be depending on to really rock England.
Be one for the total there, off the mark for England. Just by virtue of a wide, but they all count when you're chasing 250. It's a lovely evening here in Melbourne. The sun has gone down. A great skyline. It's been very hot and still is hot, 31 degrees in the city of Melbourne at the moment, and Eastern Standard Time it is 6:45 p.m. Well, there's judgment for you. Shoulder arms and allowed to go over the top of middle stump.
Yes, Graham Gooch judged that one very, very finely. Akram just getting a bit of movement, which is not good news for England, and Gooch judges that to perfection. Wasim Akram here just finding that there's a little bit of swing for him, and because he's got a little bit of swing, that might just test Gooch and Botham, the England opening batsman. Wasim, when he generates pace, he can be very quick. First ball that Gooch has had to get a bat onto. There it is, just back of the length, forcing Gooch on the back foot. You can see he's getting quite a lot of pace. And I think Wasim is probably pretty revved up at present.
Another one, and Wasim Akram has grabbed at his right thigh. That will have sent a tremor through the Pakistan camp.
Wasim pushing that one wide outside the off stump. But just after he'd finished bowling it, he was clutching at his hamstring, which might not be good news for Pakistan. Yes, he's just firing that one down the leg side, getting the ball to swing down there. Gooch looking to play it, but his leg looks to be okay at present.
First runs off the bat for England. The outfield is fast, but the ball will slow up towards the end. Bertha was looking for 4, but they'll be satisfied with 3 plus the 2 wides, 5 from the first over.
I should apologise for viewers on Prime Sports. The sound coming through from Melbourne is we've got some gremlins on the line. We're trying to sort it out and resume normal service as soon as we can. But Sunil, back to the cricket. A little bit of movement there for Wasim Akram.
Perhaps a little too much of movement because he's not been able to control the ball that is leaving the right-hander, and has been thus fined by the umpire calling wides. England off to a fair start, one would say, compared to Pakistan.
Right on target, 5 and over.
That's right.
Took the 3 off the last ball. Aqib Javed is the bowler.
Javed, who gets the ball to swing away from the right-handed batsman. He needs to settle in and bowl a tight line, keep the England batsman restricted, and make that total of 250 further and further from England's grasps.
Khan said this young man has never let him down in a big match. Aqib Javed's coming in from the Great Southern stand end.
See how that wave swinger that he bowls just gets Gooch fishing outside that off stump. Good delivery, there's a bit of pace, a bit of bounce, and he's getting him some movement. He will be really encouraged in what he sees there. Nothing worse for a fast bowler when there's no movement. He's got it. Aqib Javed there really running in, he's trying, and just Richie, as you were saying, he doesn't let you down. That sort of bowler is invaluable in a team.
The big first innings score of this match, Pakistan's 249, has allowed Imran to set attacking fields. Graham Gooch is the man taking strike at the moment.
Just encouraging Gooch to fish outside the off stump there. He needs to get after it, and there you see it. Just outside the off stump, Gooch playing and missing.
So he's beaten for pace there. The ball seemed to be through him before the bat actually came through on Gooch's intended line. 2 slips for Aqib Javed. Now then, inside that circle, there is a man at mid-off, one at extra cover, another one at point. Then the 2 slips, the first slip is Inzamam, and the second slip is Mushtaq Ahmed. Beautifully bowled through him with a great delivery. Must have missed off stump by a whisker. Maiden over. Good performance from young Aqib Javed.
Javed has been the regular star, I thought, for Pakistan. I mean, with couple of balls there, terrific deliveries.
Yes, he gets the ball to move away from the right-hander, and he's very, very accurate. So gives a hard time to the opening batsman. Gooch, a very experienced opener, but he's not finding it easy.
Lovely scene, lovely sight of the Melbourne Cricket Ground from a distance, the top of the Regent Hotel in Melbourne, only a few streets away. This Melbourne Cricket Ground is close to the city itself, close to Spring Street and Parliament House. There's just a field change going on here. It was done by a circuitous route. Mushtaq Ahmed has come from slip to talk to Imran, who sent him across to cover, and has brought Amir Sohail across to mid-on. So what could have been the secret message? We'll never know. Oh, lucky to get away with that. First one around the wicket from Wasim Akram.
Wasim Akram looking to attack Ian Botham by bowling round the wicket, getting the ball to swing into him. That's going down the leg side, the swing helping it down the leg, and Botham not troubled by that delivery.
Well, the tactics are good. It depends on Wasim Akram. He's just bowled a no ball there. It depends if he can cramp Botham for room, I guess, Clive.
Yes, if Ian Botham's got room to strike that ball, he's very, very effective. And this is what Pakistan are looking to restrict him right from the first ball and not get any confidence into his batting.
Big swinger. Swung a long, long way. Certainly beat Botham, but it did a tremendous amount in the air and then kept on going.
Yes, Ian Botham right on the crease here, really getting the ball swinging back, hitting much too high, but nevertheless restricting him completely there. And Wasim's tactics just paying off.
Will be one for... Hello? Well, umpire Aldridge, I think I can say he moved. He didn't move much. Goodness me.
The umpire very generous here, as that was way down the leg side. Ian Botham, no chance, and you can see the look on his face there, he's not impressed. Wasim Akram, yeah, getting the ball to swing a great deal into the right-hand batsman, and as a result, you can keep it there. His plan to restrict Botham is well on target.
He's gone. He's given Botham. Well, Botham, I think I can say, without any fear of contradiction, is far from impressed by that. Pakistan crowd think it's marvellous. Botham is far from impressed. The appeal, it was sort of a following appeal.
Ian Botham looks behind very quickly. There's a loud appeal from Pakistan. Wasim Akram is given the benefit of the doubt, and Ian Botham is out. 1 for 6.
That's the type of delivery that accounted for.
And now both batsmen playing and missing. This is a great opening spell by the Pakistan bowlers, and of course with a big total like this for them to chase Sunil, it does give the bowlers something to go for.
So they can go for wickets, have an attacking field, and here they've got the big fella out. Ian Botham not very happy with that decision. But Botham is a dangerous player.
He's only really come off, as far as I remember, in one match, and that was against Australia.
Yes, but Pakistan must be very happy to see the back of him. Can never take chances with Ian Botham. Quite capable of scoring a quick 30 or 40. I don't think he's quite fit enough to get 100 now.
Well, that was a wide, was it? Yep.
Wasim Akram's been having trouble trying to control the movement of the white ball. The white ball does move a great deal more than the red ball. It's harder. The seam of the white ball is much more prominent. It's made of a different material.
Has he gone? Well, Alex Stewart's not moving. And it looks as though the umpire's not moving either. And Imran Khan, you see, step in there, just telling everybody to get on with it and back to their positions. Well, I wonder if that was the Pakistan fielders trying to put a bit of pressure on.
Well, this is the final. Tempers are bound to run high because this is the match no team wants to lose. And almost a similar kind of delivery that got Ian Botham out. Akram and the Pakistani fielders behind the wickets very, very certain. But Stewart and the umpire unmoved.
Well, once again, Stewart did look round and check to see whether the ball was gloved. So at least on that ratings, he was out. And Stewart's quite content to push those balls out onto the offside square and picking up ones and twos.
She's opening the face of the bat over here and guiding the ball to point. A good return there, direct hit, but Gooch well inside.
Well, this is that loud appeal again from the Pakistan side, and even though Stewart did look behind, you see Stewart, I don't know what sort of a reputation Stewart has for staying or walking, but he certainly had no intention of moving there at all.
Well, he was just standing there and watching what was going on around him.
Moin Khan there, absolutely distraught.
Even Imran seemed to be quite sure. In the gully, everybody rushing to the wicket-keeper.
So Wasim Akram in again. Well, I regret to tell you, it sounds as though the whole circuit out of Melbourne has gone down. We're going to have a look back at... we're just getting pictures back. Maybe I'll talk for a little bit longer and just hope that we don't have to go to the highlights. But, here we are. Maybe we've made a breakthrough in broadcasting here. And I think we've also got commentary, so thank goodness for that. It always happens in the finals of these things. We've had no problems almost for the entire 5 weeks of the competition, but let's pick up commentary now.
Again, wide of the off stump. Alex Stewart started batting in this tournament about number 6 in the order, Jeffrey. Why had the move down to 3, or up to 3?
Well, if Robin Smith had been fit and batting well, he'd have taken his place at number 3, and then along come Fairbrother, and it was Hick or Lamb that would play. But Lamb's injury meant Hick played all the time, and he had to go in at 6. But then Robin Smith's got injured, so and Lamb's got fit, so Lamb's gone in at 6 because he's not really a number 3. It's just a bit of a horses for courses in which position.
Oh, he's on his way, he's caught behind. Stewart turned and walked away. He knew it was all over. Another wicket for the Pakistanis. Alex Stewart is out.
Well, that was a beautiful delivery, absolutely gorgeously bowled. He's bowled some sweet balls, he has, at Graham Gooch and got nothing. This one, the line, the length, look at it, it just moves enough. It's almost, well, it's almost too good to nick, really, but he managed to be in good enough form to touch it.
Alex Stewart goes for 7, and England in trouble. 21 for 2 in the 8th. Struggling at 21 for 2 in the 8th over. And we've seen some magnificent bowling here from the opening Pakistani bowlers, Aqib Javed and Wasim Akram. So Hick to take his first delivery. Oh dear me, that's got to be a no ball. It is a no ball, signal from square leg by Brian Aldridge. It was a no ball, but wasn't it well thought out for Graham Hick, who hasn't played the short ball very well in his short test career. We saw him in New Zealand against Chris Cairns and Danny Morrison, who are lively quick bowlers, not real quick. And this young man, look at it, he's knocked it in. That was Stewart actually, the replay, but he's knocked the ball in against Hick, which was the important one. Lovely ball to get rid of Alex Stewart, and away went Stewart. Well, that first ball to Graham Hick, I could just hear our old mate Bob Cunis sitting up there in Whangarei somewhere saying, well, that'll clear his eyes. Well, if he wasn't awake, he certainly will be now, and he got that one stuck up his ribs. It was beautifully thought out by a young man who was very mature for his young age. They've seen the way Hick plays the shortest delivery. He's not worried about giving away a no ball because it went above shoulder height in the World Cup. He's just tried to unsettle the new batsman. Well, Graham Hick's been in pretty good touch lately, hasn't he? That was a marvellous innings up in Sydney the other night. Well, yes, I have to say that Alex Stewart's been in good touch too, and he's back in the hutch, as they say, he's back in the pavilion. But Hick has been playing beautifully, his timing's been exquisite, and that innings he played in the semi-final was excellent. Oh, he's over the top, Hick. You'll get 4 runs with this. He went for it, and it flew over the slips to the boundary for 4 runs. So, at the end of over number 8, it's 26 for 2. Eight overs gone then. England 26 for 2. Change of the commentary now. John Morrison and Henry Blofeld.
Thank you, Grant. Well, Melbourne by night. Beautiful now, and who would think so, looking out on the Melbourne cricket ground, bathed in the lights as Wasim Akram comes in to Graham Gooch. And Henry Blofeld is with me. Why weren't England in trouble?
Aren't they in deep trouble? But what a good game of cricket this can still be, though, because Hexaman, he's got runs behind him. I know many people felt he might have been LBW first ball against South Africa, but if you look in the papers, you'll see he got 83. And so he wasn't out LBW first ball. He's therefore in form. Gooch at the moment scratching around like an old hen, but he's always a dangerous old hen. He can get those claws stuck into anyone. And we still could be in for a wonderful game of cricket, but Pakistan at the moment have certainly the edge.
Wasim Akram coming around the wicket with his left-armers. Yes, certainly, but once this new ball just dies a little bit, as we saw in the Pakistan innings, maybe if, as you say, Henry, a couple of these batsmen can get set, the runs could come very quickly. Well, it's all ifs, but I do entirely agree. And this was really the situation in the Pakistanis. They were 2 wickets down to very few. And then Imran and Javed, the 2 old foxes, rebuilt the innings with great care and showed that you can go much slower for much longer than people usually think. Oh, exactly. And you finish with 250. So Wasim Akram again, all short and wide, and it is a wide. Umpire Brian Aldridge from New Zealand, who's been in the hot seat a bit in this innings. Yes, he's had the pressure put upon him, hasn't he? Botham wanted everyone to think that he wasn't out. I'm not prepared to say whether he was out or not. You can't tell from here. And Alex Stewart, then, whether he got away with it or didn't, the Pakistanis felt he was out, and they started to shout the odds. And when he did get a touch next time, Stewart was off pretty rapidly, I noticed. He didn't hang around, did he? Oh, it's in there. He's dropped. He edged out a thick edge, diving away, Mohan Khan. But it went to ground and they picked up 2. Had a flirt at it, got the edge, it flew. But the keeper, Mohan, couldn't drag it in. Well, Gooch simply can't at the moment find the middle of the bat. He played a good square cut off Wasim Akram in the first over. There he is again, you see. Oh, it was, I mean, a goalkeeper tipping it round the post, wasn't it? Well, he dived a long way, didn't he? He did. Because that slip is standing very wide. Well, they do, and I think Mohan did wonderfully well to get a glove to it. I don't think he had a chance of hanging on there, because he's a short chap anyway, isn't he? Yes. Not a good start, perhaps, Henry. Being short, I mean. My dear old thing. Yes, Graham Gooch looking a bit reflective there at the moment. England coming out, chasing 250. Remarkable innings from Pakistan. They looked to be in trouble, but they retained their wickets. They retained their experienced batsmen, and then they cut loose. Oh, some Indian supporters. Wonder whose side they're on. Well, yes, it's what a game this is. I mean, what a ground. Isn't it wonderful? Incredible stuff. And here's a run, is it? No, it isn't. Graham Gooch, you really just can't, as you say, Henry, find the middle of that bat. He can't, and Ijaz is an absolute terrier there at backward square leg and backward point in those sort of safe run positions. And old Iqbal Sikandar, the leg spinner, got a game, didn't he, in Auckland in the semi-final, but obviously they were going to bring back Ijaz here, and he's not only given them greater length to the batting, he's made them that much sharper in the field. Oh yes, he's been good. Oh, that must be a wide, surely. Umpire Brian Aldridge signals another wide. So Wasim Akram, he really is a mixed bag. When he gets it right, he's very dangerous, but he does tend to stray a little from time to time. Jolly nice for the batting side when you just let the ball go past the off stump and the score keeps on mounting, isn't it? Yes. But of course these two have just got to stay there. They've got to do for the next 10, 15 overs what, more than that, 20 overs, what Javed and Imran did earlier today. Full toss and driven, but straight to the man. That's the end of the over. 30 for 2 England.
Looks as though Graham Gooch is riding a bit of good fortune here, getting a thick outside edge to this, and Mohan doing ever so well, but not well enough. And you may have noticed a change in commentary. We've switched to TV New Zealand's audio, which we're having no problems with. The captions and video will still come out of Channel 9 now. You'll see their Channel 9 caption, and you'll quite often get the wrong captions coming up for the commentators. But it's at the moment pictures from Channel 9 and sound from TV New Zealand.
Again to Graham Hick.
You know, it's normally Wasim Akram, isn't it? But Aqib Javed, I think, has bowled quite magnificently today. And he's bowled steadily whenever I've seen him in this competition. But he's moved the ball away from the right-hander. He could have had 2 or 3 wickets, you know. He's beaten the bat an unconscionable number of times. And I think he's a very, very good performer. He's vastly underrated. And perhaps batsmen face Wasim Akram, get to the end of the over and think, thank goodness for that, it's going to be rather easier. They may let up, and then he nips in, but he's a good bowler.
And again, Aqib Javed. Yes, I certainly agree, Henry. It's been a marvellous performance. The Pakistanis are fired up, and why shouldn't they be? World Cup final, MCG, not quite full, almost full, I suppose. Maybe 85, nearly 90,000 people here.
I think the gaps you can see, they were occupied before, those big empty seats. I think they've all gone off for dinner and are probably at some hospitality
suite. Luxury jobs, aren't
watching, they are. They're probably watching television, you know, tucked away in the back.
Very wise.
Well, there we are.
It's a real cauldron here. Unbelievable. Pretty warm. And off the back foot, Hick. Oh, a bit of a misfield there. He'll pick up a run. I think that's all they'll get as Ijaz is after it. And he has been, as we've been saying, very quick in the field. But Imran Khan very much the man in control out there. And many people criticised his innings early on. But the end result wasn't too bad, 249.
Well, yes, I think you've got to hand it to him. It was a great hand by him. And if Pakistan win, as I believe they will, he's got to take enormous credit.
And Graham Gooch not really middling even the defensive shot, but he keeps it out.
Well, you know, when he came forward, then he's coming forward, and it seems to me, and hoping just a little bit. There's not quite the same solidity as one normally expects from Graham Gooch.
Yes, the old radar was out, wasn't it? Just with the bat poking out in front of him, hoping that he might pick it up. But he would have loved to have got away to a good start, a couple of those drives that he does so well, but it hasn't happened.
He's started a bit anxiously once or twice in this competition latterly, hasn't he? I think due to that hamstring injury, probably.
And again, good ball from Aqib Javed, and he's after it. They really are alive out there.
That one was held back just a fraction, and Gooch played it a little firm-wristedly. It was uppish, and it's exactly the sort of shot, when you're deceived by the change of pace, that could result in a return catch. But he managed to slacken his wrists at the very last moment.
Full of technical stuff tonight, Henry. It's great.
Very, very good. No technical flaws in me tonight, do you think?
No, excellent stuff. Just don't slacken the wrist again. Aqib Javed. Driving. Good-looking shot, but good save. One-run results. And who's that? I think it's the 12th man on for Javed Miandad.
That was a marvellous save, wasn't it? He sort of pushed the ball sideways, obligingly enough, into the path of mid-off, and it was a tremendous effort, and saved 3 certain runs, because if that was passed, it had gone away for 4.
So 26 for 2, Pakistan. What am I talking about? 32 for 2, England.
Well, it's very much in the melting point. It's very much in the melting point, this game at the moment. It's another wicket now, and Pakistan are really on top. But these two have got not to worry about the scoreboard. They've got to shut the scoreboard right out of their mind and out of their vision. They mustn't look at it. They've got just to bat on and make sure that they can use the new ball a bit, deflected here, pick up the runs that are going, but stay there. Survival is everything. And then when 20, 25 overs are gone and England are still 2 wickets down, then they can begin to think a little bit differently. But for the moment, it's survival if England are going to get anywhere near Pakistan's total before the end of tonight.
So the leg spinner, Mushtaq, who caused so many problems in New Zealand, in Christchurch and in Auckland, he's having a go. Bowling for Graham Gooch.
Yes, he caused problems, certainly. He got a couple of wickets early on, Wright and Jones, wasn't it? I think it was Jones.
Here's the bowling, Henry.
He got 2 wickets in Auckland, but my goodness me, Rutherford and Crowe showed that he could not only be played, he could be dominated in that marvellous stand.
Yes, Martin Crowe batted superbly then, but that's a good shot. Oh, it's through. Bit of a misfield, perhaps. It was a good effort to get to it, but couldn't stop it, and it's run away on this quick outfield. So 4 runs to Gooch.
Well, that wasn't the normal handsome boundary stroke that Gooch produces. It was the measured paddle, and for once Ijaz timed his dive wrong.
Yes, it went very quickly, somewhat deceptively down there, and just raced away. The MCG outfield, remarkably quick. Certainly long boundaries, but if you time it right, it's tending to go tonight. So Mushtaq dropping onto a line, perhaps. He was hit for that 4, but a very key figure in the bowling lineup. If he doesn't get it right, it may start problems for Pakistan. But that was a good ball, a bit of bounce out there and a little bit of turn.
Yes, that was spun a bit, didn't it, from leg to off. And of course, leg spin is a type of bowling batsmen don't see nowadays. Basically, I think because they are considered to be expensive and are not given much of a chance. And even someone as experienced as Gooch is going to bide his time a little. Here he is again.
Slip standing rather wide there. And that's an interesting position. Particularly with the pace of the wicket, perhaps, but looking for that little cut, the little top edge.
Yes, again, that paddle shot, which brought him 4 earlier in the over, he just helps it round, doesn't he? It's an extraordinary shot, but it's quite safe the way he plays it.
So Graham Hick, a lot of pressure on him. Botham's gone, Stewart's gone, and he faces up to Mushtaq. I don't think he's quite sure which way that was going. 37 for 2. England. So there we are, Melbourne by night, and the MCG bathed in lights as Aqib Javed to continue to Graham Gooch. And again, good ball. This is good bowling from the Pakistanis.
He's such a good bowler, this Mushtaq, and as you can see then, telling the googly from the leg break is almost an impossible task to contemporary batsmen.
Yes, it is, isn't it? He's a difficult man to pick, and as you say, most batsmen around the world have struggled with this man. And there's a run here down to fine leg. In fact, that's all they'll get. So England in early trouble, losing those 2 wickets, and Gooch still there. Somewhat luckily at times, but there we are, the worm. And look at that climb at the end of Pakistan. Amazing stuff.
And you get vertigo going up there. Amazing, wasn't it?
England keeping pace, but that's when things were pretty flat.
Indeed. It's still very much a game of cricket, this, you know. You can't discount England at this stage, although Pakistan are, I think, in front in many ways.
Good ball again. And he really is bowling a superb line, Aqib Javed. As you say, he's paid second fiddle to Wasim Akram, but he really is the pick of them tonight.
I think so. I saw Wasim Akram destroy India in a game in Sharjah last November in the final of the one-day competition there. A hat-trick of LBWs. He's a marvellous bowler, I think. Very underrated, only about 21. It's his 3rd tour of Australia.
Cutting, good-looking shot. They think of a run, but they won't get it.
It's one of those days for Hick, isn't it, when the ball goes straight to the fielder, Ijaz. Well, there we are. There is the duck. Who wants to see the duck? But, well, we've had one tonight. Botham's gone for the duck, and, well, Gooch was lucky perhaps not to. He was beaten outside the off stump a number of times there, wasn't he, early on?
Graham Hick now on strike. Aqib Javed bowling. cutting, but hitting it into the ground. No pace on that shot. And England with it all ahead of them. There's the comparison with the Manhattans. Of course, it's early days in the England innings, but look at that climb. We were really downtown as the Pakistan innings wore on. But, well, they're pretty comparable at the moment. But in some ways, it's rather nice to have the runs on the board. Although the sides chasing have tended to do rather well in this tournament.
Yes, it's quite a formidable Manhattan, isn't it, at the end? I mean, that's unique in this competition, I would think. Oh, my
very
goodness
lucky
me.
there. He chops it and it just misses the leg stump. Inside edge. He didn't seem to line that one up at all well. And that's the end of the over at 39 for 2.
Well, the Pakistan bowlers are not getting a great deal of luck there, and poor old Javed has beaten the bat so frequently, you must wonder whether he's going to get any more wickets.
Well, so long as he isn't going for boundaries, he's not going to complain. They've still got England on the ropes, 2 for 39, 2 early wickets. But their captain, Graham Gooch, is still there.
So there we are, the massive southern stand here, open today, and it's almost full, and what a sight it is. It really is enormous, and it's so high up the top there. But out in the middle, it's Mushtaq bowling his leg spinners.
Yes, and these 10 overs of Mushtaq, 9 more, they're going to be quite an examination. If this chap gets wickets, well, Pakistan are going to win. Pakistan, at the moment, are so much on top that they'll feel the game's crooked if they lose, but it's very similar to their own innings at this stage. Oh, that was a good shot.
Yes, that's a super shot. He just timed that very well indeed. A long chase down there, and, oh dear, did he save it?
Well, he went down in a heap. I think he probably did, but umpire Aldridge is not sure.
No, I think he signalled 4. Has he? No, he hasn't.
Yes, I think he has, because umpire Aldridge is signalling 4.
Yes, we didn't know what was going on there. We apologise, but it was very difficult. In fact, I think he was signalling that it wasn't 4. Umpire Aldridge interpreted that it was. Oh, the old head got a bit of a belting there, didn't it? I think he did save that, and he was signalling that, but Brian Aldridge misinterpreted.
But what happened then? Umpire Aldridge made a sign across his chest, crossing his hands. I don't know what that means.
Well, he cancelled it out.
He cancelled it out, so it is just simply 3. Yes. Well,
yes,
there we
the
are.
batsmen are changing back.
It's
so
all happening.
It is 3. We finally established that. It took us a while to get there, but there we are.
Well, this is really, gosh, what an occasion, and everything seems to be happening. Everything the umpires don't quite understand, and, well, I suppose it's real red-blooded stuff, isn't it?
Mushtaq Ahmed. And that bounce, the leg spinners like a bit of bounce, but it's a tall order for a leg spinner to bowl in a one-day game, but isn't it nice to see one bowling well?
Oh, it's marvellous, absolutely tremendous, and of course spinners do play an important part, good spinners in this type of cricket.
And we've seen that in this tournament. Sweeping, not getting hold of it well, but he'll pick up 1 run at least. He's looking for a second, but no.
Aqib Javed was closing in too fast then. But Gooch has made up his mind to sweep Mushtaq, and these batsmen just got to play him, and when he drops a bit short or they get a bit of width, they've got to catch in. But they've got to position themselves, England, for the assault in the final 15 overs, just as Pakistan did earlier.
So Mushtaq again, and sweeping again. Now, it's interesting at times when you bowl down the leg side, a slow bowler, because the keeper is up, they don't tend to signal wide so much.
Well, that's true. I was just thinking then, watching Hick, that he must be careful to try and get his pad in the line of the ball. He might otherwise find himself bowled around his legs, which is not the end result he would like.
No, not at all. And that's another good ball. He's dropped onto a good line and length. That's the end of the over at 43 for 2. Well, there's the comparison. We've got a change in the commentary. Peter Sharp with Glenn Turner.
Thanks, John. Well, it certainly is an occasion befitting the spectacle, or the other way around, with Aqib Javed continuing. Now, he's bowled 7 overs and has 1 for 13. What a great spell for a start from the young, quick outswing bowler. He's bowling from the Great Southern Stand end. So the pressure on England, but they'll be reasonably happy to absorb pressure. Gooch content just to let things come their way at the moment. This is very good bowling.
Yes, although the discussion, let's just have a look here. There we go, 207 and the remaining 36.5 overs, and the run rate now required 5.6, so needing to step it up. Although there's been some discussion about keeping wickets in hand and the charge in the last 15, that's not actually the ideal. It's just the position that England's being forced into at this moment through good bowling and good fielding from the Pakistanis.
And the Great Southern Stand at night, every time we look at the Great Southern Stand, there's a different perspective with different lights coming on. There's not many empty seats there. A few of them, the corporates, people inside watching from their rather more hospitable areas.
Cost 150 million or thereabouts just for the addition to that stand.
Quite outstanding bowling, which is keeping Gooch from getting the scoring momentum that he would like. Hick's come out and he's looked reasonably free, and it would be a great occasion for Hick if he can do for England what he's promised to do for England for such a long time and play a really big hand in a major event.
And the Pakistanis have really fielded well above what I've seen of them so far in this competition, and their bowling has been a lot tighter too, making it very difficult tasks here for England.
Gooch taking a single. Yes, I think that excellent Pakistan fielding, Glenn, has actually put the jitters a little bit into the English batsmen. We've seen Gooch and Hick just looking a little uncertain in some of their running.
Yes, they've played the odd very good shot too, which has been a diving save from one of the Pakistanis, so they've not been able to get the normal number of boundaries.
Graham Hick then, in his first World Cup, I'm sure it's the first of many, a strike rate of 81, average of 36, but the strike rate really is quite potent, and this could be the big occasion for Graham Hick, such an outstandingly talented player. But then on the other hand, you see some frailty.
So we're just in the 14th as we watch Aqib Javed, and that was wide, and a very tentative wave there from Hick. He went to score off it, but it wasn't a fully committed shot. So in the 14th over, one more over after this before the Pakistanis have the option of relaxing the field a little. And it'll be interesting to see whether they still keep a slip in or not.
Inzamam al-Haq's the man in slip. And Hick gets it past him, down to third man, where Aqib's fielding quickly. It's 45 for 2 now. The 14th over has been completed.
Friendly people, good climate, sports crazy public. It's well bowled. He's just getting the wrong to go down the leg side there. Hick be tested here by the leg spinner. He wouldn't have seen a lot of leg spinners.
No, he's having a little trouble, I think, picking the wrong one out there and slipping down the leg side, and he's not getting the leg out there, playing for the leg spinner.
The city of Melbourne, about a kilometre from the MCG, a nice walk through the parks, known as the Garden City, Melbourne. Well set out, basically on squares. Easy place to commute to work.
That's the commercial centre, that is, and the lights there on in the Melbourne Central Glass Cone, Burke Street. And there's Flinders Street. It's the Flinders Street station there, all lit up. And the Arts Centre across to the left. The lights on there tonight as well.
Very well bowled, the top spinner. through Hick.
Let's watch this delivery straight through and a little bit too close to cut. It's good bowling, having a few problems.
Oh, it's well bowled. That could have been the wrong, and Hick not picking that, but striking him outside the line. This is
Yes, he's certainly not picking the wrong one or the top spinner. That one spins back quite sharply at him, and luckily he got himself outside the line there.
fraction too high too. Plenty of bounce there from Mushtaq Ahmed. It's brought on before the 15th over. Great confidence shown by his captain. He's bowling a very good line, a very tidy over. Now Maiden, 2 for 45.
Well, the googly that Mushtaq has got up his sleeve is an extraordinary delivery.
Yes, Graham Hick didn't pick that one at all. Unfortunately for Mushtaq, the ball was also perhaps just played on and was a little too high for him to get the LBW decision in his favour.
Overs bowled 2 for 45, and this is where Imran Khan will gamble now. Ijaz Ahmed, the left arm medium pacer who bowls around the wicket, probably the weak link in the Pakistan attack, is now brought in by Imran. This is the 16th over, so the field restrictions are off for the first 15. So now Ijaz Ahmed, who didn't bat today, he faces Akib Javed, who's bowled a superb spell of bowling. 7 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 15. Wasim Akram, 1 for 21. And the young leg spinner Mushtaq Ahmed, 3 overs, 1 maiden, no wicket for 9. England with a chance here maybe to lift their run rate and to just take some of the initiative away from the Pakistan bowlers.
Yes, well, the captain's still out there. Gooch, so much depends on him. Ijaz having a little chat to his captain there, and I think he's a little unhappy about the man down at fine leg. He wants him a little squarer, which really does leave the area in that leg glance. Well, that's got to be a wide, yes. If he's going to bowl out there, he doesn't need anyone on the leg side. But if he gets it straight, Gooch will be looking for a fine nick down the leg side, and if he gets it down there, the ball going to that area. No one down there covering that at all.
Yes, he's certainly the weak link. He'll just try and get it right, angle the ball in like that, and try and restrict the boundaries. If they can do that, they'll put the middle order under enormous pressure. England not getting a lot of boundaries here.
I think the middle order under a bit of pressure now, although they've got some experience there. I like the look of Neil Fairbrother. He needs a bit of a start. If he gets going, and Lamb will move with him, along with either Gooch or Hick, and England still in with a chance. There's a lot of cricket left in this match.
Gooch is playing a good captain's knock here. He's not showing any signs of anxiety at all. Just working the ball nicely into the gaps. His counterpart, Imran, there. A little bit concerned about the field for Ijaz, making sure it's right, particularly to Hick, who is a very strong square of the wicket player. A man coming across from the offside onto the onside, so they're strengthening that region there at square leg. There's 2 men about 15 metres apart, a forward square leg, a mid-wicket and a mid-on, and a man down at fine leg for Ijaz. So he's going to angle the ball into the right-handed Hick at that middle leg. Oh, and he beats him cold outside the off stump, just pushing forward.
Yes, he's really having a big struggle of it now. If you have a look at this shot, he's a real round armer. Mind you, that did hold its line a bit, and if you bowl the ball from that wide, this gives you an idea of how round arm he bowls. The ball hitting the seam and just holding its line a bit.
This time he picks up a single. Good recovery by Hick and Gooch here. They were on the ropes when there was 2 early wickets. The ball was moving around a bit, but they've steadied. And Imran there looking to maybe come into the attack shortly, having trouble with that shoulder, the right shoulder, right throughout this tournament. It's good running.
I'll tell you what, he was about to pick that up and let it go at the non-striker's end, and there was only one man backing up. Anything could have happened there. Gooch pushing it nicely into the gap. Mushtaq Ahmed's at mid-wicket.
Four runs off the over as drinks come on the ground. It's 2 for 49. Welcome back to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. England 2 for 49, chasing 250 for victory in the World Cup. Ian Botham was the first man out when the score was on 6. He was caught behind a very good delivery.
Yes, he was given out, caught behind. His head certainly went swinging around there, and a couple of appealers, and eventually given out by umpire Brian Aldridge. He wasn't very happy. The whole of Pakistan was. This is Stewart's dismissal. I think he probably did get a little nick on that one. And you can see there, just tucked his bat underneath his arm, and off he went, caught behind after surviving an earlier appeal, which caused a little bit of a fracas out in the centre as well. But Botham's decision, well, he was out for a duck, only faced 6 balls. I must say the angle from behind indicated to me that there may have been some doubt about that. And if there's some doubt, then the batsman should get it. However, there's no point in dwelling on that. Botham and Stewart back in the pavilion, and the Pakistanis have done very well. Wasim Akram has 1 for 21. Aqib Javad's bowled beautifully actually for his 1 for 15, and now we're watching Mushtaq, and it really is quite interesting watching him at the moment because he's got Graham Hick in a bit of a tangle. He's already bowled 3 overs, only conceded 9 runs, and Ijaz, the slinger who's bowling from round the wicket, has only bowled 1 over. So it's early days from his point of view. But this is going to be absolutely vital.
It's a beautiful evening. Crowd over 80,000. We haven't had a final figure yet. It's hard to judge with the new stand here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, but nice warm evening and a very keen crowd supporting England and Pakistan. Mushtaq, bad ball, doesn't get put away. Wide called. Fair enough.
Yes, that brings up the 50. 100 balls, and that's a decidedly better rate than the Pakistani rate, and fair enough too. That one down the leg side, they might get a few more of those.
Gooch always coming forward to the leg spinner in defence, unlike Hick who plays back. Graham Gooch tries to smother the spin. That's the assignment. 200 runs needed. 8 wickets in hand, the key figure, but the run rate almost 6 runs per over.
Yes, we've got a good graph here which will give you an indication of where England are by comparison with where Pakistan was. There it is. At the moment, they're not doing too badly at all. They're ahead. They've also lost 2 wickets, those 2 blue dots there. But as you can see from that graph, Pakistan really did very well from around about the 30th over onwards. In fact, it was about the 28th over onwards. They really did turn it on. And it was from that point that they went absolutely flying towards 250.
And here the leg spinner, brought on by his captain before the 15th over, is once again bowling very well. The Englishman not sure which way he's turning the ball. He bowls a very good Rahman or googly top spinner and a leg break which turns a long way. It's bowling to a strong offside field. 5 on the off, 4 on the on. Good sweeping. Ejaz misfields.
Yes, Ejaz is having a bit of a problem there. They've got 2 men covering that area. And so Imran pointing around. In fact, I think he's pushing a man back on the offside. But that's the man just behind square on the leg side. Ejaz is going to get plenty of action there. Interesting now to see if Hick can do anything about the leggy.
Cuts all bottom edge again. He's really having a nightmare period, Graham Hickey. He doesn't pick the wrong one at all. He's trying to cut off the back foot off the stumps, and twice now he's got a bottom edge which has bounced away, just missing the stumps. It's 2 for 52. Ejaz. Well, the lights of Melbourne there, and Melbourne's a lovely city, as is Sydney, and I've got some very good news because the New South Wales Tourist Commission are having a plaque made for A.W. Gregg, my fellow commentator, for his continued support and love of Sydney. Well, that's marvellous.
That is great news, Bill, and thank you for passing it on to me. I'm highly honoured. It's not difficult to say good things about Sydney. Apart from the fact that it's my home, it's a magnificent city.
Well, congratulations, and we know who you're supporting tonight, so I'm not sure we're going to get a double or not, because this is a very good World Cup, with Pakistan scoring 249, and England here playing very well.
Well, that's made my night now. I don't mind who wins this match.
Ejaz. The captain just picking up a single. They fall over, misfield, but no bonus run there. That may be a problem for Pakistan when the pressure really comes on in the final overs in the field. A little bit of dew about, and the pressure will mount, as it did for England in the last 10 overs. There was some sloppy throwing and misfields. This time he slips on the rubbers, doesn't concede the run. Imran Khan not opting to bowl yet, using his 4th bowler, Ejaz. Giving away any boundaries. The run rate required 6.03.
Yes, it's beginning to become just a little bit of a worry now. I think that England can afford 1 bowler to be very economical, but they can't afford 2 to be very economical. At the moment, that's what's happening.
Almost a run there, the man deep on the 30-yard line, but Gooch not prepared to call. You feel the tension mounting now. It's a period where either side could cut loose here. Another wicket for Pakistan. They'll be right on top. If England have a big partnership, as Imran and Java did at this stage, they could get within striking distance. It's in the air, but it's safe. Backing up. Safely back. It's 2 for 55. Great Southern Stand. The Melbourne Cricket Ground officially opened today, completed on time. Holds around about 42,000 people seated. Covers the whole southern section of the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
It's quite amazing actually standing out there underneath that southern stand, and also quite incredible the effect it has on the breeze. There's the wind, when it blows in this direction, actually comes back in this way. And it's quite incredible standing out on the centre. Comes back in there because of the vacuum that's formed. And it's quite difficult to work out which end to bowl from if you want the wind at your back.
It's driving beautifully down to long off, using his feet. Mushtaq Ahmed prepared to throw the ball up. He's getting a little bit of turn here. It's a nice, dry, hard pitch. And he's a very promising leg spinner. He's only 21 years of age. He's 43rd one-day international. 57 wickets, a wonderful effort, really, for a leg spinner. He gets it away nicely. His first positive stroke. Fine for 2.
Yes, he picked that one too. I think that's probably the first one he's picked. And that all is well for England. Notice the ball here. Normally spins away, but that one spun back. And Hick closed the face of the bat, played with the spin. Was just a little bit short. He had a bit of time to adjust there, which he did well.
And there was a shortish gully position. Mushtaq, an attacking leg spinner. The man, 21 years of age, has great control. He's got 57 wicket, good average. Economy rate's up a bit, but he gets wicket at a vital time for Pakistan. He always bowls at the top order batsman. He's had a good World Cup. He's got important wickets. One remembers Dean Jones in Perth was a vital wicket for Pakistan.
Yes, it's always pertinent to take note of the wickets that the bowlers do take. 9 matches for 13 wickets, and his economy rate just a little bit better there, 65.6 runs per 100 balls.
Oh,
that's got to be close.
Wrong, he's got him. Beautiful bowling. He wasn't picking him, Graham Hick, and he was plumb. Superb effort by the young leg spinner. Sharp spinning wrong and plumb in front.
Yes, well, I think that was always predictable. Hick was having trouble picking that one, especially when it was a little bit further up. He was playing from the crease, and all Ahmed had to do was hit that back pad with one of his googlies, and this is what he did. You watch him go back here, the ball spins back onto him, and in point of fact hit the front pad, but his foot was only just on the front crease, and so umpire Aldridge from New Zealand raises his finger, and that's a huge blow to him. Well, the Pakistanis are very happy, and Graham Hick, no doubt, very sad. 36 balls for his 17, and England now 3 down for 59.
Gooch on strike to Ijaz, called wide by Steve Buckner, who I don't think he's made a mistake all World Cup. Steve Buckner has had a magnificent series as an umpire.
Yes, he's very relaxed, and marvellous temperament as well. He's a football referee, high at the top class, which makes a difference. He's used to players getting just a little bit tense. And there's a little fumble down there by Zamam Al-Haq, and that allows 2. Well, Gooch will be getting a bit frustrated too. He's been out there since the start, and his partners keep leaving him. And one of the reasons is this man, Mushtaq, getting this ball to turn back, and really, he had absolutely no idea. Hick, I think, had the feeling there as he looked up.
Yes, the art of deception there from Mushtaq. He's been bowling top spinners and wrong-uns and leg breaks, and Graham Hick was trying to play him off the pitch, which is very dangerous if you play back. Gooch was coming forward, he just rocks back, and he didn't have any idea. He was trying to cut that actually, and it spun back, hit him on the front pad, but certainly would have hit the middle stump. An easy decision for the umpire, Brian Aldridge, at the members' end.
Yes, I think that's a sign of happiness.
Ijaz, the weakest of the Pakistan attack, operating. Fairbrother gets some pad, goes away, fine leg, a leg by. England still in with a chance that their middle order can bat well. Experienced players like Lamb and Fairbrother got to support Gooch.
But it might get down to Alan Lamb and Gooch. Well, obviously Fairbrother's out there at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how he plays the leg spinner, because the ball will be spinning away from him. I suspect that initially, certainly, Imran will have a slip in there, hoping that the leg spinner will find the outside edge. Meanwhile, Gooch quietly continues, picking up the ones. Odd 2. Now it's Fairbrother's turn. The ball will really be angling across him a long way.
No slip in, just the defensive field for Ejoes, because he's not the tightest of bowlers. Ring of 5 inside the circle. Fairbrother gets away easily off the mark. Nice push to point.
Is Neil Fairbrother is one of the best one-day players in the county cricket competition in England. Plays for Lancashire. And is a prolific scorer of runs out there. Question is, can he do it at this level? Can he do it on this occasion?
Good over for England. It's 3 for 66.
Very interested spectator at the MCG tonight. Completely unconcerned, I think, as to whether Pakistan or England are going to be the victors in this contest. There is a man who's very concerned. Neil Fairbrother just recently arrived out the crease. He's facing Mushtaq Ahmed. Mushtaq just taken the wicket of Graham Hick. And Neil Fairbrother, he'll be now tested as to whether he can pick the leg spinners against the googly. Neil Fairbrother's profile: 24 matches in one-day limited over cricket for England. That 100 against the West Indies last year at Lord's.
Good evening, David. Good evening, all. Fairbrother here. There you see his track record of an average of 37.56. Very effective as a one-day player, particularly coming in down the order, and a strike rate of 72.2. That is an outstanding effort, and he is one of England's key players here tonight.
Oh, miscue from Graham Gooch. Got 2 runs for that.
Graham Gooch looking to hit this over extra cover. Just gets the ball to turn on him and hits it through the vacant slip area. You see it again.
That's up in the air. It's gone out towards deep square leg. There's a man underneath it. That's a brilliant catch. Akib Javed is the man who's come in from deep square leg. And he is absolutely delighted. He's going to do a lap of honour all by himself. That for a World Cup final is a great, great catch, and the England captain has gone.
Graham Gooch looking to accelerate this England scoring rate that Pakistan bowlers really contain. Tries to... He goes on the sweep here, and the ball sweeping against the spin. That's why the ball goes in the air. And look at this wonderful catch by Akib Javed, right at just above grass level. What a superb catch. And Mushtaq is so excited, so is Akib, and so the whole Pakistan team. They know that getting the England captain out now, England have huge problems. The score 4 for 69.
Alan Lamb is the new batsman coming out to replace Graham Gooch. 37 years old. Very experienced middle order batsman, and he's going to need all that experience here tonight if England are to take this game away. And he's here to replace Graham Gooch, who's just been caught in the deep. Sweeping at Mushtaq Ahmed, gets the top edge. The ball goes high down towards square leg, and it's Akib Javed comes in for a brilliant low catch. Somehow managed to keep the ball in his hands, rolls over, and you'll see one very happy man suddenly meeting 10 other very, very happy men indeed. He hasn't got time to talk to him. And that left England in a little bit of trouble. 4 wickets down now for 71 runs, 21 overs gone. Gooch serving captain. He would have been looking to emulate Pakistan's captain Imran Khan, who hung around for a long, long time for his 72 and was the backbone of the Pakistan innings. But England have a lot of ground now to make up.
Fairbrother and Lamb, technically the last of the genuine batsmen, but plenty of talent left in the lower orders as well. And Imran Khan has decided to take this opportunity with 2 new batsmen in to take over from Ijaz Ahmed at the southern end, bowling from in front of the great newly opened southern stand here at the MCG. Imran Khan, the Pakistan captain, must be very happy with his side's progress now. That wicket of Gooch, a major blow for England. Imran Khan's been talking about the corner tiger ever since Pakistan played Australia at Perth a couple of weeks back. Ever since then they've not looked back. Fairbrother will look for 2 and he'll get it.
Neil Fairbrother, the Lancashire captain. Alan Lamb, the Northants captain. They're both very experienced one-day players. They know exactly what's got to be done. But there you see Alan Lamb. He's just come into bat, but England there, they need 6.13. The rate steadily climbing. It's difficult times for England, and the Pakistan bowlers really making inroads into the England batting. They still need 176 runs. Now they're only 6 wickets in hand.
Oh, that's well fielded. Very sharply in at cover. That's Mushtaq, the wicket taker, as he's known in his village in Pakistan. And Pakistan looking very sharp in the field now. They can sense that things are going their way. And the whole atmosphere has lifted out there for them.
Alan Lamb looking for 2, but the fielding a little bit wayward, but nevertheless Pakistan very confident here. They really are buzzing in the field. There you see it, the throw. The wicketkeeper having no chance of jumping to get that one, but nevertheless they've got the backup.
That ball kept low on Neil Fairbrother.
It's not really what a batsman wants to see. The ball suddenly keeping a bit low on him like that, because he won't have the confidence to then play through the line of the ball, because he's not too sure. And Fairbrother here, his confidence, he's trying to build it.
Very quickly down to 4 runs. The man's wide at long leg. That's 4 very welcome runs for England, which takes them to 4 for 80.
Well, the question I just asked you, Sunil, off air, would it have been worth bringing on Wasim Akram or Javed Mianda to try and get one of these last 2 recognised batsmen out?
Not at this stage. Perhaps when 30 overs have been bowled, they can be brought in for a short second spell and leave them again for the final burst, because England have a fairly long batting lineup, right up to number 10 in fact.
That's the view from the top of the Regent Hotel where the England players are staying at the moment. And the MCG, a glorious sight shining out in the darkness that is Melbourne. England at 4 for 80, ahead of Pakistan in terms of runs at the equivalent stage. And early trouble for Alan Lamb. Mushtaq Ahmed's bowled superbly tonight. He's had all the England batsmen looking at him very carefully indeed.
Yes, he's bowling it just outside the off stump, pitching it perfectly for his googly.
That could run away for 4. This outfield's been very quick all day. It's been superbly prepared by the curators here at the MCG. And Alan Lamb is away. Beautifully controlled sweep shot.
Mushtaq Ahmed has bowled wonderfully here today. He's pitched it almost perfectly there. It's just slightly over pitches. Lamb gets it away, but the fours haven't been very easy for the England batsmen to get.
There'll be one. Lamb through very quickly. And Wasim Akram almost taking exception to Mushtaq Ahmed lying in the middle of the wicket there. Wanted to tidy things up a bit.
Mushtaq nearly should have dug a trench there. Because first of all, Fairbrother nearly stamped all over him. And then Wasim Akram was having a go at... Oh, it's nearly stood on his arm there. And then there's the other one. Just as well he ended up facing down the wicket, not sideways.
Your Fairbrother just sizing up the position of the field. Again the googly. He's bowled plenty of those tonight, Mushtaq Ahmed. And England's progress tonight has been halted by those wickets of Mushtaq Ahmed there in the 18th and 21st overs, 19th and 21st overs. The end of another over. England are 4 for 85.
A stump cam view we don't often see from the bowler's end.
Yes, Mushtaq making a great effort to stop that run. Then he gets his hands away from Fairbrother's feet and then his head away from the throw that comes into the wicketkeeper.
And the view from one of the hotels in Melbourne.
And now everybody knows which hotel that is.
And a view of the Melbourne Arts Centre there lit up. Again, the camera on top of the Regent Hotel. England nearly at the halfway mark now. And it was Pakistan at that stage got to 70 runs after 25 overs, but they had a bit of an onslaught, to say the least, for the next 25. Somehow boosted their total to 249, so England still chasing 250 to win this World Cup final. And there's going to be another bowling change. Imran Khan bowled the one over for 9 runs from the southern end. And he's brought on his slow left-arm spinner Amir Sohail. He's bowled 3 times in this. He's bowled 6 times in this World Cup with mixed success. Didn't have a very good run at Auckland in the semi-final. Bowled 1 over for 11 there. That's what England can do with now. That's a good start for Sohail. Lamb very watchful. Bit of width there, giving Lamb room to play the cut shot. There's a man out there, typical one-day field.
This Imran here, just seen Mushtaq turn the ball. Has brought Sohail on to see if he can't just spin it. Cause a little bit of trouble to Alan Lamb and Fairbrother. But he's got a tough task on here as he's trying to contain the English batsmen who have to now push the rate on if they're going to get this score of 250.
Imran Khan meticulous in his field placing. It's gone past the outside edge. No real turn there. Fairbrother perhaps allowing for a bit of turn when there was none. But surviving. A be a comfortable one. Lamb will look for two, and he's coming back very quickly. That's good running from England. The man was very deep at long off. They had a long way to come in to save the second run there. And Lamb turned perfect and was well back on his way.
It's good one-day cricket. Perfect weight on the ball to make sure they can get in for two. Alan Lamb very quick.
Steve Buckner signals dead ball. Neil Fairbrother takes time just to relax and prepare for Sahel to actually let go of one. And Steve Buckner just saying, cool it out there. Not quite sure what's going on, who's saying what to whom. And whereas Sahel in Auckland and Eden Park struggled to land the ball, he's doing all right today. And he's just checking there that Alan Lamb doesn't gain too much ground from the crease before the ball is bowled. 4 off that over. England move to 4 for 89.
Of course, running a batsman out who's left the bowler's end is not considered cricket. You normally expect a warning first.
Yes, but in limited overs cricket, where every run is vital, Amir Sohail is well within his rights to tell Alan Lamb not to back up before the ball's bowled.
Back again with Mushtaq Ahmed bowling to Neil Fairbrother. And at the end of that last over, little contretemps as Amir Sohail was looking at Alan Lamb making ground outside the crease before the ball was bowled and giving him a fairly obvious warning. If he did that again, he wouldn't be too happy. And that's through the gap. Not great fielding, it has to be said. Fairbrother will come back for the second. Mushtaq Ahmed showing a little displeasure there at that errant dive.
Fairbrother here just pushing the ball square on the offside, the spin of the ball beating the fielder, and just looks a little bit untidy.
Lower on this time. Fairbrother angling the bat on the top spinner. And that's what England need to win this match. Still 159 runs, but over 6 and over. 6 wickets in hand. But these are the two most important ones, Fairbrother and Lamb.
This Fairbrother is not too sure which way Mushtaq is actually spinning it, and as a result using his pad sometimes.
Ball toss this time, but there's a man out at deep square leg. Fairbrother's hit it well, but he'll only get one for it. And it's still a very warm night out here at the MCG. The temperature's been in the 30s all day. This is not the temperature graph, this is England's run rate against that of Pakistan, and whereas England are above at the moment, the crucial part is that last 10 overs, where Pakistan accelerated away far too quickly. Another googly. Another very good over from Mushtaq Ahmed. England 4 for 92.
And it looks as though Mushtaq's causing all the England batsmen problems. They don't seem to be able to spot the googly at all.
And that's why he was going to be so crucial to Pakistan's attack. He's done a tremendous job. Not only has he bottled the run scoring, but he's got 2 very important wickets.
Amir Sohail continuing the spin attack. And again, whereas England are ahead at the moment in terms of runs after the first ball of the 25th over, there's a long way to go. That's the story of the England innings. Graham Gooch, top scorer so far, 29 off 66 balls. But those 4 wickets are the key to the story. One more to Fairbrother.
Sohail, having come on to bowl in place of Imran Khan, just wonder whether Imran's shoulder is okay. He was rubbing it earlier, and Sohail's taken over from him that end.
Earlier in the day, Pakistan reached that total of 6 for 249, largely thanks to 72 from Imran Khan, 58 from Javed Miandad, a very important partnership that. But the main acceleration of the Pakistan innings came when that man Wasim Akram and his partner Inzamam ul Haq, 33 and 42 respectively, plundered the last overs of the England innings. And England's task now is to keep this scoreboard ticking over. We've seen a lot of games in this competition with the side batting seconds taking its time. England are 4 for 95.
Well, they have to keep the runs ticking over, but don't they need a few boundaries?
Well, perhaps at this stage they would be quite happy if they got about 4 or 5 singles and over. That way the scoreboard would be kept ticking over without them taking undue risks. But certainly after another few overs, maybe by the 32nd, 33rd over, they need the boundaries.
The MCG by night, and the left of that picture at the northern end, the members' end of the MCG, there's been another change of bowling. Mushtaq Ahmed has completed 8 overs, 2 for 29, a very good spell by the leg spinner. Imran Khan, the captain, returns, started a spell at the southern end, bowled 1 over for 9, now takes over from his successful leg spinner at the members' end. Wasim Akram and Aqib Javed made the early breakthroughs for Pakistan, and then Mushtaq Ahmed capitalised on that. It's now up to the Pakistani skipper to try and keep the shackles on these England batsmen. He'll be bowling to Neil Fairbrother.
I'm sure what Imran would like to find here is that the ball that he's bowling from this end is going to swing a lot more than the one he used at the other end. It's quite important for the bowlers now to get some sort of movement. And Imran, who is a wonderful swinger of the ball, he would like to just see some sort of movement. He didn't get it in the first over. He went for 9. Now he's going to try and see what he can do at the other end.
Good running again from England. Pakistani field is buzzing more than we've seen them at various stages in this tournament. With a comfortable single there for Lamb. Good understanding with Neil Fairbrother, just hits the ball and runs.
Yes, at this stage, that's exactly what England are going to have to do. Those singles have to keep coming every single delivery that's bowled. They've got to get bat to ball, and then the 4's all bonuses.
Malik coming in very quickly from deep square leg. Keeps the England batsman down to 1.
The England need 152. And they've got 23.3 overs remaining, got 6 wickets in hand to do the job. Still a tough task. This is what one-day cricket's all about.
Both these batsmen finding the gaps well. England have to keep scoring at 6 runs and over and above if they're going to win this match. It's very much a question of finding the gaps, picking up those 1s and 2s, and at some stage England are going to need some more boundaries. Quickly, it's Ijaz. England will get 2 for this with the overthrow. And Fairbrother's got to skate back again. That's well run and well fielded. Moeen Khan unable to get up the stumps in time to take the first throw. But both fielders and batsmen very sharp out there this evening.
So Moeen Khan was unable to get both throws as they scamper through for this single. And Moeen Khan doesn't quite make that one. Then as Fairbrother setting off for the one return, he can't get back for that throw. Just shows you how quick the England batsmen were.
Another single. England move on to 102. There are 4 wickets down. It's the end of the 27th over. If it's any consolation to England at this stage, the history of one-day matches at the MCG suggests the side batting second has a better chance of winning. Fairbrother takes one more, paddling this ball round to the leg side. Side batting second at the MCG has won 50% of the time. Side batting first has won 42.3% of the time. Straight. Just turned back a little bit on Alan Lamb there.
Yeah, you just see the ball turning slightly for the spinner, and that's what he wants to see.
Lamb's down the wicket. Unable to get it past the infield. So Hale fields off his own bowling. And there are those stats from the MCG. The difference in percentages, of course, being made up by those matches abandoned and where no play is possible.
So Hale doing a wonderful job here, just restraining English batting, and then Lamb struggling to get it away. Boundaries not coming too quickly. The last one is in the 23rd over, and Fairbrother and Lamb will be looking to hit that boundary a few times if they're going to get the score.
Only 2 off the over. 28 gone. England are 4 for 104.
Well, Sahel is supposed to be a make-up bowler, so to concede just 2 runs, that's very, very good.
At this stage of the innings, more than the halfway stage, he's done a very good job for Pakistan. He wasn't very successful with the bat, but he's certainly proving his usefulness with the ball.
Imran Khan to Lamb. 22 overs left in this contest, the World Cup final. No other chances after this game. This has been the culmination of a wonderful tournament here in Australia and New Zealand. The pressure very much still on the England batsmen. With a fair amount of ground to make up. Imran Khan, Pakistan captain and all-rounder. Good one-day average there, and a good economy rate over his career as a limited overs international player. And a very shrewd captain to boot.
This Imran's record in the World Cup. There you see it, an economy rate of 63.2 and 33 wickets. He's played in 28 matches, and probably his last World Cup that he will play in, age 39. But you never know. Imran's been along to most of the other World Cups, and he's been around for a long time.
Pauses away. Will only be one. And this Imran Khan's 5th World Cup. One of only 2 men between Imran Khan and Javed Miandad who've represented their country in all these 5 World Cups. It's the first time that Pakistan have been in the final. Lost in the semi-finals last time in '87. The outside into Lamb's bat. Trouble there for England. And moral success for Imran Khan.
This is a good delivery by Imran. Just bounces on Alan Lamb just outside the off stump. Alan Lamb's not quite in line, looking to run it down to third man, but Imran's comes out the victor of that delivery.
Those previous World Cup finals, twice the West Indies successful. The first 2 years of the competition. India beat the West Indies in '83. Lamb's favourite cut shot. You only get 1 for it this time. And then move on to 107, 4 wickets down. Amir Sahel continues to Alan Lamb. Still frustration for the England batsmen out there. They've got to take heart from the fact that Pakistan, off their last 25 overs, hit 179 runs. It was Imran Khan, Javed Miandad, but especially Wasim Akram and Inzamam ul Haq. This is squirted through. Lamb's managed to find a gap here by an unorthodox method. We'll get 2 for it this time. And that Pakistani onslaught realised 124 in the last 15 overs. And unfortunately, Alan Lamb there, over-eager in his running. 1 short called.
Here's the frustration shown with Alan Lamb.
Always past Alan Lamb's bat, this time just trying to dabble it down the offside.
Alan Lamb here just trying to run it down fine on the offside, past the slip area which is vacant.
This is not Alan Lamb's greatest time, I'm afraid to say. Definitely signs of tension out there. Lamb's been missing from the England side for most of the World Cup. Struggling to find some form here tonight at the MCG.
Yes, sir.
Some very good tight bowling from the Pakistani spinners. England 4 for 108.
Must have been close. Zahid is having a terrible time this evening. He's so enthusiastic out there. The young man is the substitute on the field. He's had a lot of problems.
And he seems to be wearing spikes as well. That was missing leg stump by a considerable amount. I know that it pleased him too much. He's got spikes in the front of his shoes. but slippery bits on it all over the rest of it.
Imran Khan will feel that he has this match in control at the present time, but he knows also that these two batsmen up there are very dangerous one-day players. Alan Lamb is a very experienced batsman with a tremendous one-day record, whereas Neil Fairbrother hasn't really come on as a test batsman. He certainly is a tremendous player at the one-day level and has had a good World Cup. Against the West Indies at Lords in the last of the Texaco Trophy one-day matches last summer. Very well on the tour of New Zealand as well, which preceded the World Cup.
Exactly the same applies here to Fairbrother and Lamb as applied to Imran and Javed in the Pakistan innings, where they went very, very slowly. It was important they didn't throw away a wicket. Same applies to Fairbrother and Lamb now. They've been tied down. They've got a lot to do, but it's very important they keep the wickets in hand so they can have a rush at it towards the end. Quite often you see players who are tied down going along very slowly, all of a sudden get frustrated, throw away their innings, and the whole thing disintegrates. Another thing they need to do is hit 4 boundaries in the next 3 overs. It's 4 for 114 and 31.
MCG on this historic occasion, the first World Cup final to be held in the Southern Hemisphere. The other 4, first 3, all the finals held at Lords. Those first 3 were in England, and then the 4th in 1987 at the Eden Gardens ground in Calcutta, when Australia beat England in the final. England here in their 3rd final.
Fairbrother's going to look for 2. That's good running. Lamb placed it very well, and Fairbrother was off, if not like a rabbit, at least very, very quickly. They've got to start their surge now, and they've got to be very careful not to lose a wicket. We'll look for 2 again.
Fairbrother certainly will be pressing Alan Lamb here. And one of the oldest men in the England team, Fairbrother is very quick between the wickets, and that's one of the advantages he has as a one-day player.
Go for 2 again. Can Fairbrother do it? No. Not even with Zahid Fazl's slippery boots.
They'll be looking for a second here again. Fairbrother says, come on, let's go for it.
Gee, it was well fielded. He was off balance when he threw. A good throw, I reckon, would have stretched Fairbrother to the limit.
That's the other substitute, Wasim Haider, and certainly if he had gone on top of the bails, Fairbrother was gone, but it was such a good bit of fielding that we really can't quibble over the throw.
Well, the question is coming up now, will they be able to rattle Pakistan? No doubt a direct hit there would have run out Lamb. But will the fielding hold up? Can Imran hold Pakistan together if the surge does come and the quick singles are taken? Ramesh Rajat, the fielder.
Yes, sir. Well, they've taken 9 off that over. Some desperate running. It's 4 for 123.
Trying to work out, Sonny, that what Imran's doing with the substitution. They use all their substitutes quite intelligently.
Yes, in the semi-finals they brought in Ijaz Ahmad, who's a brilliant fielder. The field for Inzamam ul Haq. Javed, of course, took ill during this game, so Javed has a legitimate excuse to be off the field. But we don't quite know who's the second fielder who's off.
So 32 overs gone. England on the runs there, certainly well in advance. That's a good 20 runs in advance at 32 overs, but 4 wickets down after these, the last 2 specialist batsmen in. Just the all-rounders to come. Pakistan still had Imran Khan and Javed Miandad at the crease at this stage of their innings, and that was vital to their final charge, which carried them up to 249 for 6. Imran with his 5th over. There's that great incline in the Pakistan graph towards the end of their innings. The last 30 overs or so, they really propelled themselves past the 200 mark. In fact, the halfway stage, it looked as if there was no way they could get up to 250. We were talking about around 200. To Imran, Javed Miandad, Inzamam and Wasim Akram were the ones responsible for pushing it up. England on a steady graph. Now they've got to just get the incline going. There's another version of the scoring rates. All the way through the last 30 overs, littered with overs which yielded 9 and 10 and 12 and even more than that.
It's a beautiful stroke. Away over cover. Alan Lamb's been searching for that shot. He was trying to get around so he could hit Amir Sohail, the left-arm spinner, away over cover, but Amir Sohail kept angling the ball in at him quite flat. Now Lamb has got Imran away over the infield.
Kind of shot we saw him play the other evening against South Africa towards the end. That was the first boundary for 10 overs, but they've used the gaps in this vast outfield very well in that time. They've run well between the wickets, they've put pressure on the Pakistan batsmen. Things just beginning to tilt once more. Partnership now worth 46.
The way Fairbrother played in that match here at the MCG against South Africa, we've got a fair idea that his temperament's okay, that he knows, as Tony's just pointed out, how to use the gaps, and that on the evidence we've seen so far, he's not likely to lose his head. Imran's coming around the wicket now and seems to be getting in straight down the line of the stumps there.
End of the over, 4 for 130. Shining down in the MCG, and Amir Sohail, who was 5 overs before this, had cost him 19. It's good protection in the offside. Mushtaq Ahmed, the leg spinner, good in the field for Pakistan. It's a bonus for them to have a leg spinner who is so good in the field. With all due respects to my fellow commentator, of course.
You were too young to see me play, Curse. Lamb and Fairbrother doing the job for England at the moment. 7.1 for the rate. They've kept it around about that figure the last 3 overs. Have to be quick. Almost got in again.
Well, we've seen already in this competition where the Pakistani fielder has got one of their bowlers. Aqib Javed, as you remember, was knocked into concussion with a throw from the field in the match against South Africa at the Gabba. Every chance of someone getting hurt this evening with returns such as those.
Needs stroke. May have cut it off down on the boundary. Wasn't quite such an intended stroke. Raja. And 3 to Fairbrother. 4 for 138 England.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying this World Cup final. Sonny, although England are slightly ahead at this point on runs, they've lost those 2 extra wickets. How do you see the match poised?
Well, really, it depends on this pair, because if they can get England to closer to 200 in the next few overs, in the next maybe 10 overs or so, then maybe they can throw their bats about in the remaining 5 overs.
Alan Lamb has been out quite a long time during the preliminary rounds with hamstring trouble. You think he's fit enough to keep running those short 1s and 2s?
Well, he seems to be doing all right so far, but really I think as the innings progresses, he'll probably find it difficult.
Fairbrother doing well, 37 off 44, almost all in ones and twos. I can't remember, we had one boundary in, what, 12 overs?
Well, so long as they're keeping the scoreboard moving, they won't feel the pressure also themselves. They have Chris Lewis who can throw his bat around, and Pringle and Reeve. Reeve the other day played magnificently against South Africa. In fact, his innings really made the score unattainable as far as South Africa were concerned, and so maybe he can come in and do something.
What did he score? 25 off 13 balls.
That's right.
So every bit as good as Inzamam Al-Huk's rate when he came in. So I don't know. I think I'd rather be a Pakistan supporter at the moment than an English supporter.
Imran Khan now playing one of his trump cards early. This partnership is developing into something which is going to worry Pakistan. He's bringing back Wasim Akram, who had 5 overs at the start. The partnership now is worth 69 of 79 deliveries. Pakistani is using 2 substitutes out there. Zahid Fazal is on for Javed Miandad, who in fact was taken ill during his innings and had to use a runner towards the last part of it. And Imzaman is also off the ground, limped off, and has been replaced by Wasim Haider. In fact, Imzaman didn't field much either in the Pakistan semi-final match against New Zealand in Auckland. Ijaz Ahmed fielded for him for most of the innings, and he's off again here.
When Inzamam gets into the 5-day version on hot days where his ankles are under stress, you may find it more difficult to spend a lot of time off the field. Very good delivery from Wasim Akram.
If Brian Lara is back in the Caribbean watching, he'll remember that delivery. Almost the identical ball which crushed him on the right big toe in the first match of the World Cup involving Pakistan and the West Indies. Forced him to retire hurt. Famous Yorker delivery from Wasim Akram.
Going back to Inzamam for a moment, and the fact that he seems to be a little prone to injury. When the 5-day matches are on, there'll be captains who will keep an eagle eye out to make sure that someone who bats and does a full stint in the field And that is a new record for limited overs cricket in Australia. 87,182 the crowd here today, beating the previous record of 86,133. Wonderful sight. What a great delivery. Left arm round the wicket. Alan Lamb has been cleaned up. Perhaps so too England. Beautifully bowled by Wasim Akram. It's an unusual action and direction to come left arm around at that pace. Alan Lamb has gone.
And they're all watching on the Giants board here. What we're now watching on our screen. It's a magnificent delivery. Wasim Akram brought back just for that purpose. Lamb and Fairbrother had stuck on Pakistan, and now Wasim Akram removes Lamb for 31. It's 5 for 141. A lot of all-rounders towards the end of their order. Lewis, Reeve, Pringle, De Freitas. Fairbrother is still there.
Subtract Lewis from that list. Wasim Akram is on a hat-trick. Played on. Again, left arm around the wicket, and Pakistan players here the spectators in the Ada, and I suspect millions back home are dancing in absolute joy.
So the first wicket, that of Alan Lamb, with an absolutely magnificent delivery, as near as to unplayable as you can possibly get. And Chris Lewis going first ball with a big in-swinger. He has every reason to be happy. He's on a hat-trick. He knows what it is to be on a hat-trick. He's been there several times before and has taken at least 2 from memory in one-day internationals. First ball duck, 6 for 141. The opportunity of watching from the non-striker's end, at least for a while, as Wasim Akram's 2 wickets off successive balls came from the last 2 balls of the first over of a new spell. Lamb and then Lewis.
Even more palatable from Dermot Reeves' point of view is that he'll have the opportunity of facing Amir Sohail before he has to face the other left armer from the members' end.
Reeve is off the mark. He played really well against South Africa in the semi-final in Sydney on Sunday. The circumstances were entirely different to those that he confronts now that he comes in with England really struggling.
Yes, sir.
That's a wide, no question about it, and very, very quickly signalled by Steve Bucknor, almost before it had passed the batsman. So the little interlude of an over from Amir Sohail, and we now can pay our attention to Wasim Akram, who is on a hat-trick. Wickets of Alan Lamb and Chris Lewis, and the big left-hander is coming up to see if he can make it 3 in a row.
This was an absolute cracker. Came in on that angle, left arm round the wicket, angled into Alan Lamb and then cut back to hit the outside of the off stump. Didn't just smash it in the middle. Just clipped the outside. Lewis playing on. Beaten by speed and swing. Hit the base of middle stump. Now then, Wasim Akram is on a hat-trick. Slip in. It might be a little unlucky that he has Fairbrother at that end rather than the new batsman Dermot Reeve.
He's had 2 hat-tricks in one-day internationals before. No ball. So we still have to wait to see if he'll get one, perhaps a technical hat-trick. No ball. Signal by umpire Aldridge. Chetan Sharma, in fact, got only previous hat-trick in the World Cup. He bowled all three of his. Wasim Akram, one of his previous hat-tricks, have also been all bowled. Bojan, Marshall and Ambrose for the West Indies. But he won't get another one. So tremendous effort by Wasim Akram, brought back by Imran Khan when Fairbrother and Lamb had that partnership going. Added 72 and was causing some worry to Pakistan. He came back in his very first over, removed Lamb and Lewis. In the commentary box now, Tony Greig, and with him Ian Chappell.
Thanks, Tony. Well, what an order this is now for Fairbrother and Reeve. And Wasim Akram is on fire. He came in with the bat and signalled his intentions then. He's bowled superbly and certainly on one occasion picked the ball up brilliantly in the outfield, whipped it over the bails. So 82 balls for that 101. It's well played. Very well played, in fact. It's racing away down towards the boundary. Well fielded too. The two of them converging on the ball down there. And eventually a dive, a desperate dive, kept the ball away from the fence. Aqib has hurt his hip there, but have a look at this. This was a good effort.
He's improved his fielding a lot, Aqib Javed. He was pretty ordinary when we first saw him in Australia, but he's already taken that brilliant catch in the outfield, and he's paid the penalty a bit there for saving that run. Looks like he might have cut his knee, I would say. That looks like it might be blood rather than dirt on his knee. So he's landed, well, there used to be practice pitches down that area. They're not there anymore, but it looks like it might be a bit rough there.
That's sort of the regrassed area down there, which has only recently been exposed to the ground. There's no future in having a look at that. It looks as if he's taken the skin off his area just below his knee there, but what a good effort that was. And there's the divot that his knee probably disappeared into. No from the non-striker's end.
Very quick no from Dermot Reeve, as well as a loud one, which you need. 87,000 people here. There's always a lot of noise when there's a decent crowd here at the MCG. Very difficult to hear in the middle. Dermot Reeve was wise to yell early and loudly.
Over the wicket to the left-hander. Six runs from that over. 6 for 153. There's the comparison. The big difference, of course, being the wickets. And the head on the runs. So much now depending on Fairbrother. Sohail to continue.
Just when you're playing against a cricketer like Wasim Akram, you always fear that he might have his good day at the wrong time. And you sort of got that feeling the way he batted earlier on today, that it might be his day. I'm sure that England were hoping that it wouldn't be his day, but he is that sort of cricketer, Wasim Akram. If he has a day on, and it does happen to be the cup final, you're in a bit of strife.
Little nudge there on the leg side, so they'll get another single there. They've got to keep these singles coming. They've got to get a few fours as well. Yes, he's a magnificent cricketer, capable of doing almost anything with the bat, and obviously a great bowler. He's also got a tremendous arm.
Yes, there was just something about the way he batted. He struck the ball very well. He hasn't done much with the bat in this competition. You just got the feeling that he was feeling pretty confident, and that it might be his day.
Yes, sir. So sitting there for one there. It's just one ball to go. Because in fact, he's had a few problems. Imran's had to put up with a lot of wides and no balls from Wasim Akram. But then again, he gave him his head. He said, you just don't worry about that. Charge in and get wickets. Half-hearted appeal, but no chance there. So it's the end of the over, 6 for 157.
Sohail once again proving to be very economical. Not bad for was he a fifth change bowler?
He's done a very good job for Pakistan because before the tournament started, he was taken in primarily as a batsman, but he's proved that he can bowl a bit too, and certainly in the limited overs game, he has been a useful addition to the Pakistan team.
So there's going to be a change now at the members' end. Aqib Javed is going to take over from Wasim Akram. He bowled his previous overs, all 7 of them from the southern end. 7 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 15. Bowled very well, in fact. Swung the ball a bit early on and got 1 and 2 to move off the seam.
Yes, he's been a quiet achiever for Pakistan in this World Cup. Certainly doesn't get the praise that Wasim Akram gets, but he's been important in this team. And it was obviously important that he had to do well once Waqar Younis wasn't available for Pakistan. And he has shouldered that responsibility extremely well. Good outswinger going at a lively pace, and if you can bowl good outswingers at a lively pace and direct them well, then you're going to do a lot of damage in international cricket.
Dermot Reeve is a relative newcomer to the England side, but he's got a tremendous strike rate. And have a look at that average as well. Just the 7 innings. He's got a few not outs, but he doesn't waste too much time.
There by umpire Aldridge. Yes, that's quite an amazing average when you think that Dermot Reeve is going to be coming in late in the innings and having to strike the ball pretty hard and pretty often. But he doesn't. He obviously doesn't throw his wicket away easily, because he's only been dismissed once in his 7 innings, and he's had 5 innings in the World Cup, the 4 not outs, and an average of 70.
For one there, but deciding against it, as he was in fine form against the South Africans. 25 not out of 14 balls, which included 17 off one of Donald's overs. He was a fast bowler. He kept whacking him away to the boundary. That was his last over. That's what confronts him and his partner and the rest of the England batting. 8 runs and over. Another wide. Well, obviously not quite as comfortable this end as he was down at the southern end.
Well, I think he's a bit harsh there, really. I think the batsman is playing on umpire Aldridge's generosity and letting that one go. I think the previous one was quite fair enough, but really wasn't stopping a shot, that delivery.
Imran doing the fielding. He's one of the two fieldsmen on the offside, saving one. And they now can just use one man in the circle on the onside. Imran will stay there on his own. The left-hander is on strike, Fairbrother. It's the offside field, 3 men in the circle. Keep Javed from the members' end.
Nope.
Here's another quiet achiever for this one for England, Neil Fairbrother. They've got a lot of big name players in their side, England, but none has contributed any more than Neil Fairbrother. He's played some very valuable innings in this competition.
Side, and that's the end of the over. 6 for 160.
I was actually surprised to see Javed coming in after seeing him limping, trying to stop that ball going over the boundary a couple of overs before. He looks sharp enough.
Yes, he's struggling with his run-up, and he's in some sort of discomfort. But when you're playing the finals, you tend to forget the aches and the pains, and particularly when you know you're in a winning position. Pakistan certainly is in a winning position here.
Not sure whether Neil
6 wickets now, only 4 left.
Feels a bit of a cramp coming on. Just took some tablets before he had that drink. Laurie Brown, the England physio, bringing the tablets and the drink out to him.
He certainly looked very, very damp when he took that crash helmet off. That's understandable. There's a lot of sweating out there. It's obviously time where you've got to run between the wickets a lot, and either he's not feeling too well, or as Ian Chappell pointed out, I've given him a little bit of salt. He's down at the non-striker's end at the moment. Sohail to continue. Let's have a look at our graphs to see exactly where England are by comparison with Pakistan. And there they are. As far as the total's concerned, they're almost spot on. The big question is, can they now maintain that rather steep climb that Pakistan put in place? It was all done at the end of their innings.
Now a little bit of a limp there from Fairbrother. Now whether that is a cramp. Yes, the problem for England is the wickets in hand. Pakistan were able to make that great charge in the last 10 overs of the innings because they had a lot of wickets in hand. But England don't have that luxury. They really can't afford to lose any wickets. So that's the difficult part in a one-day game, of scoring runs quickly and not getting out. Now I think that Fairbrother is in a bit of strife here, and he may be calling for a runner. He certainly couldn't run very fast there. Reeve was looking for 2, but Fairbrother really had to just jog through. So maybe it's a bit more than just cramp. Amir Sohail there has got right across the pitch. He was getting ready for an appeal, delivered the ball left arm around the wicket, and then as he started to go for the appeal, he jumped right in front of the umpire.
Well, there's a misfield, and they've got to come back for the second, and that brings up his 50. 64 balls. A very good effort by him. It's also the end of the over, 6 for 165.
Well, as we've seen in the past, once a runner comes on, there's all sorts of confusion, but you pick out one strong candidate to come out as a runner.
Certainly, it should be Chris Lewis, but we see Alex Stewart coming down over here. Chris Lewis is such a quick runner, but perhaps Stewart, because he's the vice captain, and maybe he's a good runner between the wickets, a good judge of a run. That's the reason why he's been sent.
There's the comparison after 40 overs. England just beginning to fall behind now, and what's more, they've lost 6 wickets. So therein lies their problem. However, Fairbrother is presenting a further problem for them, because Alex Stewart has arrived at the crease. He's going to run Fairbrother. He's obviously in some sort of strife. It looks as if he's limping just a little bit.
Aqib Javed bowling his 9th over. Wasim Akram has bowled 7. It's going to be interesting to see who he's got as his finishing out bowler, apart from Wasim Akram, obviously. Maybe he's going to use himself.
Pad and straight back down the wicket.
He's got 12 overs between Amir Sohail and Ijaz Ahmed. Imran himself has only bowled 5. So there's a couple of bonus overs there for Imran. The fact that Sohail and Ijaz have bowled 12 between them. Mushtaq has a couple to go. And obviously, when the time is right, Imran will use him.
It looks as if Imran himself is getting loosened up, so he might be going to bring himself on very shortly. Only 57 balls remaining for the 85 now. This is going to take some doing, but nothing's impossible. Dermot Reeve has been known to cut loose.
Brilliant bowling. This has been a terrific over, and coming just at the right time for Pakistan. He's a much improved cricketer, Aqib Javed. Early in the innings with the new ball, he bowled outswingers. That was a beautiful in-swinging Yorker. He's improved his fielding a lot. He was a bit of a bunny in the field in his early days, but he's improved that a lot.
That's 5 now that he's managed to prevent a run from being scored. So if he bowls a maiden here, it'll be a real big blow for England. Dermot Reeve on strike. He gets it over mid-on, he'll get 4. But he's only managed to get it away to cover for 1. So a very good over from the top. Aqib Javed, 6 for 166.
It's the difference between the England performance in Pakistan. The Pakistan bowlers have been able to come on and really produce the goods when it mattered. Wasim Akram getting a couple of wickets and the maiden there.
Yes, what a fantastic over that from Aqib Javed. And that too when he's not 100% fit. He still has a little bit of limp after that brilliant save on the field. So the Pakistan bowlers really rising to the occasion, bowling a marvellous line in length.
So England beginning now to fall behind, 166. Pakistan were 177. It was around about this time that Pakistan really started to turn it on. And there's no future here for England to do anything other than have a go. And Dermot Reeve, I'm sure, is aware of that. He's having a little look around. The question is, where's he going to hit him?
Yes, this has got to be the over, the last over from Amir Sohail. And with the left-hander on strike, it might be a little easier, although Fairbrother is hurting a bit. Don't know whether that'll restrict his batting.
So Fairbrother, the left-hander here. The question is, can he get one away into the gap at mid-wicket over the short mid-wicket's head? Get it over the top of the heads of those two there. He's got a chance.
Catch it!
That's the area, just over the top, and it'll run away down towards the boundary. Will it get cut off? Yes, yeah. Oh, it's been missed. Into the fence it goes. Well, the idea was right. He didn't quite middle it. Mushtaq down there went right over the top of it. No, he's gone in the leg.
You're never safe if you've backed Pakistan. They always give you a worry. Oh, strike me, he hasn't even got a glove on that. You can't make an error if you don't touch him. That was the theory in baseball. I think if I was scoring, that would have to go down as an error.
Oh, he's running. Yes, he's going to be home. Just for a second I thought there was a mix-up there, but there are three of them out there. It's a little difficult. So Stewart now moves out towards the square leg umpire because he's running for the left-hander. In the air, one bounce to the short third man. So he's looking to hit the ball over extra cover, Dermot Reeve. Just one ball to go in this over. Sohail's last ball. His figures at the moment, no wicket for 48. This is his 10th.
Yes, sir.
So he's completed his spell. No wicket for 49. His figures 6 for 172.
Just looking at Illingworth, the left arm spinner for England's figures, he took 1 for 50. So Sohail just 1 run more economical. So it just shows you what a good performance from him.
Certainly is, and perhaps England leaving the charge a little too late, because Wasim Akram has got 3 overs left and he's not going to give too many in those.
So Fairbrother, 56 off 66 deliveries, a lot depending on him. He's out there in a bit of trouble with a runner. Reeve on 12 off 25 balls. Aqib Javed, who's bowled the odd in-swinger, is bowling his last over. To take up commentary now, Bill Lawry and David Gower.
Thank you, Tony. He's hammered that to mid-on, just the single. Well, everything favouring Pakistan here if they defend well. The misfield in the last over from Mushtaq shows that the pressure... Brothers played very well here, David. He's a fighter and he's shown a lot of courage.
Shown a lot of character, Neil Fairbrother. Again, another Englishman suffering from an injury at a crucial time. But his job now is to stand there and whack the ball. He's got to make contact, keep nudging the ball into the gaps, try and hit the odd boundary in between. That's what England need as well.
Slow ball and well bowled. They don't get a single. A bit of confusion there with the run of the men at square leg running for the left-handed Neil Fairbrother.
And in fact, Alex Stewart, who is the runner at square leg there for Neil Fairbrother, saying he couldn't hear the call. And of course the last thing they want now is a tragic run out for Neil Fairbrother. And it really is very hard. There's a lot of noise out in the stadium, 80-odd thousand people there, big atmosphere.
Charged, gets away, bottom edge. It's going to go all the way. Very valuable runs for England. They're in this match still. They'll go right down to the wire here.
That's what England desperately need. It doesn't matter where they come. And there's a traditional gap in one-day cricket down at fine third man. Just a little under edge there from Neil Fairbrother, and it's just eluded the diving Moin Khan behind the stumps. Neil Fairbrother won't mind where these runs come from. 70 still needed, only 44 balls remaining.
Is England in trouble? A great match so far for Pakistan with both bat and ball. It's in the air. Surely this must be out. Wicketkeeper coming around. Moin Khan. He's got it. That could be the World Cup. Good performance by Akif Javed, keeping his cool. Fairbrother trying to hook it over mid-wicket. Didn't get it away, and the wicketkeeper running 20 metres took a well-judged catch.
Well, that was always the wicketkeeper's ball once it had gone up in the air. Neil Fairbrother not hitting this cleanly at all. Top edge on this ball. He's got a long walk back to the pavilion here at the MCG. Plenty of time to think there. Short ball from Akif Javed, just Fairbrother again just underneath it, cramped for room. And Moin Khan very quick out of the blocks. Akif Javed, the successful bowler. The Pakistanis once again delighted. Fairbrother gone for 62. England are 7 for 180.
It's in the air. There's a man out there who's going back inside the circle. Here he comes. He's got it. Good catch. Almost a collision. Fine bowling and a magnificent catch. Rameez Raja running with the ball. Judged that beautifully. Pakistan on fire at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
It was a very difficult catch for Rameez Raja. There's the glare of the lights up there, the ball coming over his shoulder. Not the easiest of catches at the best of times. Dermot Reeve having no option but to try and get after the leg spinner. And Mushtaq Ahmed struck again. Certainly been his nights. 3 wickets now. Dermot Reeve aiming over the top, trying to go over the top of extra cover. Not connecting, danger of collision there. That was Pakistani's major worry, but Rameez has clung onto it. It's a very, very good catch. England have slumped again. Reeve gone for 15, England 8 for 183.
Yorks him, close. Get back. He's back. It was all action there. It was all happening. Very close LBW shot. It was a Yorker. Maybe some bat there from Pringle. They're looking for a run. It was all happening.
This is a lethal delivery, especially if you're Derek Pringle's toes. That's a classic Akram delivery, in-swinging Yorker. And it's not slow, that I do promise you. Derek Pringle taking the decision to try and get out the way as soon as possible, nearly runs himself out as well. Just back in time. That's not a bad seed either, and Akram can do no wrong.
He's a magnificent athlete. Have a look at this action. He's a good athlete. He's a fine runner, but his success is in the quick arm actions. He really does charge in well forward. Beautiful, smooth run to the wicket, but when he gets there, it's so quick with the arm action. That's where he gets all his release from, always running through the crease and swinging the Yorker into the right-hander, almost unplayable to a low-order batsman.
Not too easy for a top-order batsman.
Going for single. Misses. Extra run. They'll be running out if they go. No. Calm heads. A very good over from Wasim Akram. It's 8 for 188. 3 balls to be bowled by Mushtaq in this cup final. It's well struck. It's going all the way to the boundary. That's a good hit. That's well struck by Derek Pringle. A long boundary there, about 90 metres.
It's at least 90 metres out there, Bill, and it's one bounce into the crowd. Derek Pringle kept his eye on that ball very, very closely. No fog over the contact lenses there.
He's hit that ball to deep mid-wicket. Coming back to the second, it's got to be Kais. The throw's good. Kais is out. De Freitas run out the 9. A brilliant piece of work by Salman Malik in the deep. It was a good throw. And Mohan Khan, who's done beautifully with the gloves, had the bails off in a flash. A very good take.
Lovely piece of wicket keeping at the end there. Philip de Freitas desperately having to come back the second run, and for once Salim Malik gets it on the 8. So it hasn't been Salim Malik's greatest tournament, but at least he can say to himself tonight he's got involved there. It's been a fabulous team effort by Pakistan. And this is a great throw-in. Picks it up cleanly. And de Freitas is always struggling there as soon as Mohan Khan just picks the ball up on the half volley. That's good keeping. Easy decision for Brian Aldridge to give. De Freitas has run out for 10. England are 9 for 208.
Gets a nick. The third man coming around. May not get it. Doesn't. That's 4.
Well, England need these runs any way they can get them. Steve Buckner again, the West Indian umpire, very relaxed. England 9 for 216.
This one's tipped away. Could go for 4, and it does. So England fighting down to the wire. 5 balls to be bowled in the World Cup for 92.
Well, all those England supporters at Putney Constitutional can stay awake for another 10 minutes just to see what, or another 3 minutes probably in these conditions. Fine clip. It's a Javed Miandad type shot there that Richard Illingworth has played. And even at this juncture, Imran Khan changes the field, sends the man back to long leg to cover that shot.
England tries to bowl before the man's inside the circle. Umpire Steve Buckner has not missed a trick in this World Cup. Threw the arm out and said there's not the man inside the circle in complete control in the final over.
Well, actually, it almost looked as though Imran Khan had forgotten to tell the man to come in, and he was racing in as Imran Khan was running in.
That's up in the air. He's getting under it. This could be victory. It is. Pakistan win the World Cup. A magnificent performance in front of 87,000 people. Imran Khan has led his side to victory. What a great victory.
Well, the Pakistani players in prayer on the ground to give thanks for their victory. They've certainly been the side of the night. Their momentum in this tournament has grown and grown and grown, and they've timed their best form absolutely perfectly. It's been a team effort. The entire squad, the physio, the doctors, they're all out on the field now, and they're loving every moment of this. Imran Khan, his 5th World Cup, his 5th attempt to win the trophy, and he's finally done it. And even the great Imran allows himself a smile there. Very cool customer, but he's going to savour every moment of this.
Yes, they win by 22 runs, and they did it in style. They bowled England out. They defended the 249 magnificently. Wasem Akram, Mushtaq Ahmed bowled beautifully. Fine catching the deep. Young Akif Javed bowled a good spell as well. So they're on top, and all the fieldsmen contributed, and there must be the proudest man at the world at the moment, Imran Khan.
Well, as skipper of this Pakistani side, he takes a lot of the credit going for the way he's manipulated them. He picked them up at Perth against Australia 2 or 3 weeks back when they were in their last gasp needing to win. They won that game there. They've not looked back since. They took on New Zealand at Eden Park in the semi-final. They chased over 260 there to win the game, and they've come to Melbourne. They've come to the World Cup final. They've come to play in front of all these supporters. 80-odd thousand, some of them neutral, some of them supporting England, some of them supporting Pakistan, and they've done the job. They've won the game comfortably. They've produced their best cricket of the entire tournament, and there's the result. Pakistan, very, very happy winners. Intikhab Alam, the manager there, very experienced hand. And the man for me who's made this possible today, although it has been a team effort, has been Wasim Akram. 33 runs at a crucial time at the end of the Pakistani innings. Gave them the total that they needed. 3 wickets as well. He was the man of the moment, and we'll be back at the MCG in just a moment for the presentations.
Inzamam coming out from the pavilion, enjoying the moment with the rest of his fellow cricketers, and I think what has been said absolutely right. Pakistan saved their best performance to the end. They improved as the tournament wore on.
That's right. I think they were really fantastic. I think they've, over the last couple of seasons, been slow starters. Even the tournament in Sharjah, they were slow to start with. But they warmed up to the event and they won that tournament. And once again, over here, they were very slow to start with. They had their little hiccups, but they have gone from strength to strength, learned from those defeats. And here they are, the world champions.
And this is how it all finished. After 5 weeks of competition, the final game, the 39th of the tournament, and England down and out, and Pakistan victorious.
Well, I don't know whether Ramiz Raja is going to keep that ball. I hope he hasn't chucked it away. That's a very, very important ball. There he is on your screens, very happy, along with Salim Malik, who unfortunately didn't have a great World Cup. These two young men there, Inzamam and Mushtaq, the future of Pakistan cricket. One an attacking leg spinner, another wonderful batsman. Amir Sohail also had a tremendous World Cup.
It makes you wonder what they would have done with Waqar Younis.
Oh yes, they probably would have won all their matches then.
But a full credit, I think, to Javed, who came in, and he's probably their steadiest bowler throughout the tournament. And in the early stages, I thought was probably even bowling better than Wasim Akram.
That's right. I think when you look at his performances, you realise how underrated he has been, because he's kept the pressure on while Wasim has been attacking. So Wasim has been able to go on bowling in an attacking manner, while the pressure is still kept on at the other end with Aqib's wonderfully accurate bowling. So Aqib Javed's performances have been very much underrated. He's not the glamour boy of Pakistan's cricket by a long shot, but ask Imran, ask Javed Miandad, and they'll tell you how important he is to the Pakistan team.
It always used to be said that strike bowlers operate in pairs. I mean, you always think of Lillian Thompson, or even further back, Statham and Truman. There's always one who's the real sort of out-and-out wicket taker, but they do need the support. And I wonder if this is going to be a sort of a combination for the future.
I think if Waqar comes back very quickly, then Aqib will be the first change bowler, and Akram and Waqar will be the new ball bowlers. So all in all, it doesn't look like it's going to be a happy time for the openers who confront Pakistan.
Okay, we're getting commentary back from the MCG. Let's pick it up.
Scenes here in the middle of the Melbourne Cricket Ground. A crowd of over 87,000 here today, creating a new limited overs attendance record in Australia, beating the previous one of 86,133 on this same ground. When the last catch was taken, the rest of the Pakistan team rushed the field to join the players who had done so marvellously out there today. Imran Khan, the captain and the hero, dragged his team through when it looked as though they were beaten in the preliminary rounds, got them into the semi-finals. They won at Eden Park in a thrilling encounter, and now they have turned in a great performance here at the MCG. Not only their own supporters, but others will be pleased that it was such a good match and that they turned in such a sterling effort. Intikhab Alam, the manager and coach of the Pakistan side, led all the extras from the dressing room. A great sight and a very, very happy occasion. And in the centre of the ground now, Tony Gray.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's my pleasure now to introduce to you Mr. Malcolm Gray, who is the Joint Chairman of the World Cup Committee. Mr. Gray.
Colin Cowdrey, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Pakistan on a well-deserved first ever World Cup victory. Commiserations also go to Graham Gooch and his men. Well played. The 1992 World Cup has been an outstanding success. A large part of that success has been due to the tremendous support that we've received from the sporting public of both New Zealand and Australia. For that we say thank you. We're also indeed grateful for the generous sponsorship of the Benson and Hedges Company. To present the Man of the Match award and the prize money cheque to the losing captain, Graham, I now introduce to you former Australian cricketer and now director of the Benson and Hedges Company, Mr. Alan Turner.
Thank you, Malcolm. When we accepted the role as sponsor of this 1992 World Cup, we anticipated a great festival of cricket, and I must say the Benson and Hedges Company is delighted with the way it has been staged in Australia and New Zealand. It truly has been magnificent. We thank the Australian Cricket Board and New Zealand Cricket for the effort they have put into this tournament to make it so successful. We congratulate all 9 teams, and we thank the public in both Australia and New Zealand for superb support they have provided throughout. I have here a medallion and a cheque for $3,000 for the Benson and Hedges Player of the Match from this final. And I'd like to ask Wazam Akram to come up here and collect it. I now ask Graham Gooch, captain of England, to come up and accept a cheque from the Benson and Hedges sponsorship for $25,000 as runner-up in the World Cup. You may not have won this match, but your team did a magnificent job in reaching this final, and you certainly proved worthy opponents.
Just say it's an absolute delight to play in the final. I'd like to thank my team, all the English supporters that followed us around. And I also say congratulations to Pakistan for playing a great match and winning the cup. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Graham Gooch. It's now my pleasure to introduce Sir Colin Cowdrey, Chairman of the International Cricket Council. Mr. Cowdrey.
Imran and your team, I offer congratulations on behalf of the world of cricket, and I'd like you to come up here and I present you with the Benson Hedges Prize. Benson Hedges Prize of $50,000. And one more thing. Here, this magnificent Waterford Crystal Trophy. You mustn't drop it. Thank you very much.
I would just like to say I want to give my commiserations to the English team. But I want them to know that by winning this World Cup, personally, it means that one of my greatest obsessions in life, which is to build a cancer hospital, I'm sure that this World Cup will go a long way towards completion of this obsession. I would also like to say that I feel very proud that at the twilight of my career, finally I managed to win the World Cup. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Imran Khan. Congratulations, Pakistan. That's all from down here. Hope you're now enjoying the fireworks.
Well, that's it. Great finale, plenty of atmosphere, and in the end, I think the best team won.
Yes, and I think Imran was very emotional over there as he gave a little acceptance speech. Pakistan very deserving victors. He's worked very hard to get that team together. He's made a few changes over the last 3 or 4 years, but he's got the combination that he wanted. Victorious combination. Full congratulations to him and his team for having played so brilliantly right through the tournament.
Well, I know that the game of cricket has been viewed by a lot of people who had no idea what the sport was all about. The event going to over 1 billion viewers. It's reckoned, of course, with Prime Sports here joining in. The audience increased even further, and of course, 87,000 people at the MCG just to finish all things off, a record attendance there. So it looks as though one-day cricket at least is in a very healthy state.
It certainly is. It's really the thing that is supporting the Test match version, because in the old days it was the Test matches which brought in the crowds. But today it is the one-day games that bring in the crowds. And that's where the money is for the administrators and for the players as well.
And it's a long haul for the players. I mean, they were there on tour for 5 weeks, and that probably butted on to all the preparation overseas they're in. I mean, you don't think that this is too much for the players, or do you think that's part of their profession they're getting with it?
I think it's part of their profession, and in any case, the World Cup is an event which comes once in 4 years, so you have to make do with the odd niggle and aches and pains and carry on with it over the 5 weeks. That's what Pakistan has done. They've ignored the aches and pains. They better be careful with that cup as they run over there. But Pakistan really has shown that flair can win the cup. I mean, they played with a lot of flair. I mean, it's not been just up and down professional cricket. They've played with a lot of style, and they are really deserving champions. Intikhab Alam, who has been the cricket manager for some time now, when he was playing there wasn't the World Cup. He must be a very happy man too.
I think I'd like to reiterate what you said about the Pakistan flair. I mean, they've done it with probably the most effective bowlers in the World Cup. You know, certainly the best leg spinner in Mushtaq, the best strike bowler. And also, when it's mattered, they've had some brilliant batting performances. I mean, like Inzamam's innings the other day, and the one today wasn't too bad either. And they've actually pulled out the brilliant performances when it's needed.
Yes, I think what a lot of people tend to overlook is that bowlers are very, very important in one-day cricket, because if they can take wickets, then they're putting pressure on the opposition batsman. It's no good just having bowlers who will contain the batsman, because as we have seen right through this World Cup tournament, even if the batsmen are contained in the first 30 overs, if there are no wickets that have fallen, they can always throw their bats about and get almost 8 or 9 runs an over in the last 20 overs, and thus make up for their earlier